Yeah, the cowl's in and it looks like it fits up okay. I'm gonna need to do some things before I put it on though, like get the bottom part at least sealed with some kind of sealer so it won't rust as easy. And paint maybe, I don't know. Looks like I might have to pull it down in a couple spots. Get it worked in. Some slight taps with a hammer or something. Looks good. I got the passenger side all sealed up. I got to get in on this side here and hammer that out and weld it in. It'll be 2 layers, but it's just the easiest way to do it. None of this will be seen anyways. The fenders and stuff is going to cover it, carpet and everything else. So this side's pretty much done. I still got this big gaping hole right here to do, but the floor is done. So I guess I can attack this next. Jeez, it's got a lot of drain plugs. That's crazy. Ugh. Oh, that's the back. Might be a little bit deeper than the one that I got. Huh. Not sure what all this crap is about. It doesn't go anywhere. It must be for accumulators and stuff to hook up to it. I don't know. I can't think of any other reason why it would have so many drain plugs. And that's dented. Use plenty of RTV. That's dented. It's like, what's that for? That oil pump maybe? It's heavy too. Twice or 3 times as heavy as the stock one. I bought this gasket kit with it. Should have went down and looked because I have this gasket kit too, which is a full piece. Probably wind up using that. So I got everything I need to do the oil pan, except for RTV. I should probably just run up to the store and get that real quick before AutoZone closes. There's no way to bolt this thing down. That's one side. That's the other. And there's a hole missing here. Seems to line up here okay. I didn't even notice that until I went to put it on. How are you supposed to reach inside the oil pan? That's ridiculous. Who thought of that? Well, it was a struggle, but I got it on, and it skips bolts. There's supposed to be a bolt here, and a bolt here, but this whole side skips bolts. So it's missing 1, 2, 3 bolts on this side. They go right there's the stud.
Oh, I see. Which one's my husband?
This is serious, Mrs. Florek. I would take it seriously.
Mr. Dubeck, my husband has spent every day of the last 4 years being investigated. Every single day. There were 6 months when he wasn't investigated. The 6 months he was in prison.
You can barely see the stud there. So I gotta flip the engine over and reach up in there with an extension and not drop the nut to tighten those down, but I'm not going to do that yet because I haven't got the gasket on this and I haven't got the pickup tube yet. So when I wait, I'll wait for that stuff and then I'll take it back off and put it together. You can see the dimples in a couple of them. I think this has probably been returned. Somebody tried really hard right here to get the oil pan to fit, and that is so thick I'm not sure I can bend that straight. Maybe if I got a heavy clamp, but I just have to put a bunch of RTV there, I guess. Got a gasket maker. So I got this all thread, and I think I'm just gonna make them all 5-inch, all the deep ones anyways. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. I think that'll make those 5-inch, maybe this one too, just because I don't want them to be too short, and I got enough materials. And then these short ones, those ones I could probably just make 1 inch or something, and these ones 1 inch. The plate uses these 3 top bolts and these 3 on each side. That's the only ones it uses. So the only stock bolts I'm gonna need is this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And maybe those 3 eventually. Okay, I got that tacked in. This is from a shot kit I bought for Fox body and never used. I just, that was for axle and I squared it off. And now I'm gonna cut a tube just like I did here and get my length. It looks like with the big tires on that I'm gonna be, I don't know if that's gonna be perfectly level or not, but it's probably about the best I can do at the moment. I could drop these down, but then I'd have to fill a hell of a gap. We'll see what it looks like when I get the bar in. There. It's pretty close to level. If I could drop these down just a 1/4 inch more, it would be level. And I could probably make brackets or something to tie into those to raise it up. It needs to maybe come down a little anyway, or up a little, I guess. I don't know. They're just tacked in though. I only need like 1.5 or 2 inches for the tire to grow. Okay. That's a 45-degree angle. I got these tacked in. It's tacked in, but I think I'm gonna cut it off because I don't think it needs to be a 6x6 plate if you're gonna weld it to the frame. So I made that mark right there. I'm gonna take this tube out, and then I'm gonna grind these welds, and then I'm gonna move this side to that line, and that way this tube can weld right here or like right here, only up 1.5 inches. And then the other bar will go there, and I'll save some weight because if I try to put 2 of these next to each other, it's going to be hard to weld in between them, and the way it needs to be, it's going to block that. So I'm just going to put the one in. All right, so that's the approximate position of the second one. But I'm looking at this anti-roll bar that I had from the Fox body, and it's wide enough to get on the outside of the frame on both sides and have just a little bit of clearance. So I think what I need to do is get like a split bushing for right in here somewhere, and it would be like a pillar, or like a piece of spacer here, and then just a split bushing, and I'd sand the paint off, and that would sit and pivot like this, and I could weld the tabs down here and then put the bar from there to there. I could also make them shorter if I put it on the bottom side, but that'd probably interfere with the coilovers. Okay, I got the back bars welded in, and I haven't got these welded in yet, and I'm not going to until I do the floors. So it's welded on the frame there and up top, and that's holding everything up. So I was able to cut this off of here, and same on the other side. Now I think I'm gonna drop the car down and put the floors in and see what it looks like. Starting to look like a car again. I'm gonna have to punch a bunch of holes all the way around this, and I'm just gonna weld them in, hammer them and weld them in. And then I'll probably make a box here and weld it to this also. And then that might be considered a frame. I don't think I'm gonna go through the floor with any. I thought I was gonna, but I don't think I'm gonna go through the floor right here, and that'll just make things harder. I'm just gonna figure out a way to get this on the floor. About 1.5 inches or 2 over there also. Yeah, it's coming together. I welded everything almost. I didn't. I welded all of that, and I welded that square piece in, and I welded all this in right here and right there. But I didn't weld this in because I'm not sure I want it there or somewhere else it's just tacked in. And I welded that all the way in. And that, I don't know if that's mild steel or not, so I hope it holds up because it didn't weld very well. And here's a sign that this car has been cut in half. 2 different colors. And there's a weld over there and it's screwed together here. Yeah. They must have cut it at the pillars though. No, I don't really see any signs of that happening. So, yep. And it's stiff too, boy. And it ain't even, it's just on nuts and bolts. It's not even on heim joints, and it's pretty stiff. I got the passenger side done. It's getting late. I need to get cleaned up. Tomorrow I'm gonna weld in the other side. Feeling like I got something accomplished tonight. Got the top side completely welded in on both sides. Now I'm gonna raise it up and look what needs to be done underneath. All right, here's the bottom side. I gotta hammer that in and weld along this seam here now, all the way around. Well, not here, because that's not designed for that. But across here and here, I gotta hammer that in, and I think I'm gonna get rid of this because it's pretty much in the way. But the engine and tranny have to come out before I can get rid of that. But I can weld along here and here. I could probably even weld it here if I wanted to. Anyway, there's a lot of welding to do, but the roll cage is right about here, which is across from the transmission mount. So I can't go straight through there or I won't be able to bolt the transmission mount on, or I'd have to redesign the transmission mount. But what I can do is go from here, do a 45 and meet up over here. Right there. So there's only, what, an inch there. And so the issue becomes that it's low, but I can probably cap that off or something. Anyways, it'd be at a 45 like this till it meets up over there, and then I can just drill a hole through the floor and put an extension pier, I guess you'd call it a pier, in right there. And then the same on the other side. I gotta hammer that up and weld it across. That's gonna be kind of a pain, but it'll go. And then this all the way across. A lot of overhead welding left to do. And I got them started. I decided to go with the 6-inch plate. I have to look it up again, but I think if it's welded, it doesn't need to be sandwiched or bolted. And then I need to probably either hammer this or find space fillers or whatever to get the weld all the way around. And the same with that side. And then the roll cage, besides the strap bar for the harnesses, should be pretty well done.